Arsenal continue their title chase as they take on Bournemouth. Here are the managers.
The closer we get, the relevance and the importance of the match increases, obviously, and tomorrow is a big day for us. The players know it, our supporters know it. It's 12:30 kickoff. It's an early kickoff, so get up early, have an early breakfast, bring your lunch, bring your dinner, how you say in England, and let's go all together for it because it has to be a big day.
I think it's difficult to say a good moment. Never is a good moment to face these teams. They are so good that they are always very difficult to beat. No, I think the two defeats in the cup are a little bit different because they also changed a little bit the team. They kind of recovered the starting 11 against Sporting, and I think they had a massive win there away, last minute winner, and I expect the best Arsenal, and they've lost I think one game at home. I think no, for sure they've lost against United only all the season, so it means you need something special to beat them. It's not, if we are good, it's not enough. We have to be really good.
Yeah, very interesting point there from Iraola about the Sporting game in midweek and how he's expecting the best Arsenal after those cup defeats, the back-to-back cup defeats. How important was that win in midweek, do you think?
Oh, really important for the morale of the team. Back to the basics of being a terrific defensive team. I think to shut out Sporting Lisbon, as good as they have been in the Champions League at home, winning every single game before meeting Arsenal, again gives you a boost going into this game. And Iraola's right, they have to be near perfect to beat Arsenal on their own patch.
Arteta was looking a bit relaxed, talking about bringing your lunch and your dinner.
And your breakfast, and bring everything. But no, he was in a good spirit, so he's handling the pressure ever so well. I don't know, obviously, if they will when the game starts, but the way he's talking and the way he feels and he's happy, I do agree with Dino. I think the win in midweek was massive for Arsenal, even though I look at the game and think Sporting Lisbon were the better team. If it wasn't for David Raya, then I think Arsenal might have lost that, but what a big result that is.
You talked earlier when we looked at Manchester City's remaining fixtures about, you see them winning every single game. With Arsenal, for some reason, there isn't that feeling. Is there a nervousness in the team? Is there an uncertainty that perhaps you would have seen in the Sporting game, the way that they are battling to get over the line? Or does it not really matter as long as they keep winning? They
are battling, and it's going to be difficult. Against maybe a team that can punish them a bit more, they would get punished, but at the moment, when it's this stage of the season, it's all about just getting the points in. They know how many points they need to win the Premier League title, and that is their main aim, and that was their main goal at the start of the season. And if they do that by not playing attractive football or scoring from set pieces, as people like to say, who cares? At the end of the day, it don't say Arsenal won the Premier League by scoring from set pieces. It just says Arsenal won the Premier League. So they got to find every mean possible to win the Premier League at the moment.
There's psychological elements as well when you look at that run-in and who plays first and who manages to get the result and then piles even more pressure on the other is a big factor. Arsenal had that opportunity on Saturday. Non-negotiable for them to be
Yeah, absolutely, to put that pressure on and have your rivals watch and see those 3 points being taken, albeit City have got that experience in their squad to handle that. It is really important. And even in that run-in, there are 2 games where City play twice before Arsenal next play, and then Arsenal play twice. So there is gonna be some twist. There is, because Arsenal have shown that they're not in full games. There's an edginess to some of their performances. So you would expect them to drop points. You would.
But the difference for Arsenal, and most evident in those 2 cup games when he wasn't there, was David Raya. I mean, people are talking about him as being in with the shout for Player of the Season.
Yeah, he will be in a shout for Player of the Season. He's been outstanding. I think he's been brilliant this season. He's made big saves at big moments. We talk about Gabriel, we talk about Declan Rice, Saka, but he's been fantastic. It just makes me laugh when he first came to Arsenal. Lots of debates when he was with Ramsdale, should be the number 1, and Arteta said he's my number 1, and he's been magnificent. I think as a player, you can take your game to a different level. the goalkeepers took his goalkeeping to a whole different level. He's made big, important saves at crucial times. I'm not talking when they're winning 3 or 4-0, Jules. I'm talking about when they're 1-0 up. That was against Minter, which was an outstanding save. For me, he's one of the best around in the world at the moment.
I mean, when he came in, people were saying that Arsenal didn't need a goalkeeper. Well, Arsenal saw what they had and what his potential was, and he's head and shoulders above everybody else in terms of the race for the Golden Glove with 50. Yes, he's got a great defence in front of him, but there's long periods where he's not involved, and then he has to come to life with these big saves. And I think they miss his distribution, that ability for the defenders to pass it back to him. He can really handle it. Clipping it out to the fullbacks. When we're there and watching it live, he looks like a midfield player.
He does,
and that's credit to him, because that's the way goalkeeping has gone, and he's taking that forwards.
Arsenal obviously defensively solid. I'm just wondering creatively, who leads them? Who are they looking to? The reason why I think Max Daumann has so many people excited is because he plays without fear, and that fear is evident, especially with Arsenal going forward. Yeah,
listen, Odegaard's been injured quite a bit, but I think the one player who's back now training is Eze. I think he can be their X factor. That's why they brought him in, and it's a good known stat from now to the end of the season for the previous couple of seasons at Palace. This is where Eze comes to life. So I think having him back fit, because I thought he'd be out a lot longer with the calf injury, but seeing him be involved in training, I think it's a huge positive for them. But me and Dino were saying the attacking players in Arsenal will have to do a lot better. But I'm a centre forward playing there at Arsenal. With the amount of chances I get created, they should be scoring a lot more goals. They should be well clear at the moment. But I think if you're looking for someone to give you that X factor from now to the end of the season, I'd probably put my hat on Eze.
Yeah,
Really, I mean, it's just in terms of recruitment. If you think of the players that they've lost, but continue to bring players into the club that can be a genuine threat going forwards, and I always think Bournemouth are just a great watch. They are, with those attacking players, but also defensively at times they can be really solid and just a difficult team to face. The one thing you're not quite sure on is that level of performance. They can be quite up and down and erratic, and that's why I like to watch them. But they're going to need to be very, very good if they're to cause Arsenal problems. But they have done in the past.
And they also managed to get a draw against the form team in the league at the moment, in Manchester United.
Yeah, Man United. Obviously, when Harry Maguire gets sent off, it's a huge blow. But Rayan's been a good signing. I think he's exciting, outstanding, Brazilian. I don't know, they get their recruitment's outstanding. They lose players like Semenyo and bring him in. This is a good finish, fantastic finish from Christie on his right foot. And then Man United, you think are going to go and do it and, hang own goal from Hill. But then, it's a really good penalty from Groupie. He's been very good for them, Junior Groupie. They've got some good players that can cause problems. But if you look at that, they are draw specialists, so Man City will be happy. But the 2 games before Man United, they were struggling to score goals, which is surprising from Bournemouth. So, it's going to be a difficult game at the Emirates. But if any team can do it, it can be Bournemouth, because we all enjoy watching them, as Dino just said.
Yeah, a question about Andoni Iraola's future, because he's done his stock the world of good, and this is going to be a summer I think many of us expect of big changes in the world of managers. He's had his team gutted, he's lost some of his best players, defence has been certainly gutted, Dean Housen, for example, Semenyo that you've mentioned as well already, Clinton. What do you think about him and his future?
I think he was a little unfortunate, I would say, for his career, that they went through a poor run when there was then jobs available in the Premier, big jobs available in the Premier League, because it's clear he's done a fantastic job there. Not only is he matching results with performances that are entertaining to watch for the supporters, punching way above their weight with what they spend.
I agree. I think Areola's an outstanding manager. It depends what jobs are available come the summer. That's the thing you look at, and how well he can do from now to the end of the season. Like, Bournemouth still have an outside chance of maybe making one of them European spots, but it's going to be an uphill task. But I think he's a brilliant manager. I think there'll be a lot of clubs looking at him at the moment and in the summer. One thing I will say, Jules, is you got to credit Bournemouth, because he was under pressure like a long time ago, under big pressure, and there was a lot of talk he could lose his job. He turned it around, and he's done a brilliant job. I'd take him at Palace tomorrow.
I think he'd be at the top of many teams' lists as it stands right now.
Yeah, but Palace is good now.
No comment.
Okay.
That's going to be in all the papers tomorrow.
Yeah.
Vincent Morrison wants under Iraola at Palace.
Yeah, because Glasner's leaving. Of course I want him. Everyone would want him.